All right, now let's take a look at our physics. Let's add in a function. We'll call this didBeginContact. All right, and if you're not seeing this didBeginContact, you have to add in these two items all the way up at the top. All right, this type here is the skPhysicsContactDelegate and the physicsworld.contactDelegate. If you don't add in those two items, your physics just will not work. All right, so this is where things get a little hairy because contact is a little bit complicated in SpriteKit. So we technically have three contacts in this. We have the player and the square, we have the player and the circle. And that's actually there's only two contacts. So player square, player circle. So that's pretty good. So let's add in a function. We'll call this player square collision. We'll make that contact A sk sprite node, comma contact B sk sprite node. So what this is going to do is that we're going to feed in first body is equal to contact.body A, and then we're going to say let second body is equal to contact.body B. So we've got body A and body B. So the way this is going to work is that there's only two bodies per contact. So we'll feed in these bodies into this function, and this function will go and add in whatever kind of logic we need. So we're going to type out the same thing. We're going to say player circle collision, and we're going to use the sprite node. That's why we're actually using the sprite node. Player circle collision, and we'll say this is contact A sk sprite node, and then contact B sk colon sk sprite node, and there needs to be a comma in between these two. Now there is a way to do it with the shape node. However, it complicates things immensely. In fact, when I was making this course pre-hand, I tried to make it work with the shape node, and it was one, a little bit too convoluted, and two, it's something that's a little bit too difficult to deal with in SpriteKit at this current time. Hopefully later they do fix it, but for now we're going to use our sprite node because it's a lot more efficient. This highlights one other thing that you need to understand about games. If the technology isn't there, you should not do it. You need to find a compromise. Always find a compromise. In fact, any game released, there's always some kind of technological compromise. Okay, so just as an aside here, let's add in our if statement here. Now this if statement's fairly complicated, so you might have to pause the video afterwards to see if this is the exact thing that you're adding in here. So we're going to add an if, two brackets, and a curly bracket. We're going to say first body dot category bitmask is double equal to physics category dot player, and the two ampersands second body dot category bitmask is double equal to physics category dot, and then it's going to be square. We'll do the square one first. Okay, we're going to add an or bracket. It's going to be first body dot category bitmask is equal to physics category dot, and then we're going to do dot square and bracket second body dot category bitmask is double equal to physics category dot player. So the way that this works is either the player collides with the square or the square collides with the player. And that's what this is saying here. All right, so you can take a couple seconds to look at this and make sure that it is exactly correct. So all it's saying is that the first body that contacts is either the player and the second body is the square, or the first body is the square and the second body is the player. So this section here, first body is the player, second body is the square. This one here is the second body is the first body is the square and the second body is the player. Okay, and then we need to call our player square collision, and we're going to say first body dot node as sk sprite node, and then second body dot node second body dot node as sk sprite node. Wow. Okay, So it seems like it's a lot here. And what this does is that this will pass the first body into this function. So first body becomes contact A and second body becomes contact B. We need to add in more functionality to make that work. Let's go ahead, let's add in another and copy and paste this here. And all we're going to do is we're going to play replace player with square, or square with circle and circle with square. So circle and circle. Then we're going to just say player dot or player circle collision, and we're going to go to first body dot node as sk sprite node, and second body dot node as sk sprite node. And you're probably wondering, why can't I just copy and paste that? For whatever reason, I've tried to copy and paste that, but sometimes it just doesn't work. So it's best to rewrite that out. And I'm not sure why it doesn't do that when you copy and paste it. All I know is that I tried it while making this game and it didn't work. All right, this concludes the tutorial.